Basically, I wanted to feel like when I write a verse, I want to feel like 3 niggas rapped. I had one nigga right here, I had one nigga right here, and I had one nigga take me somewhere else.
You could really be a foundational, like, we got to come through El Paso. You could make it a cultural hub that there's no other competition to, and I think that's what's special about it.
I've never seen that many people who've never met each other before get along that well. It felt like a family reunion or a class reunion, and we never even met each other before. Just the reception alone, it was red carpet treatment. Like, the catering was already inside the vehicle, and that's when I was like, all right, this might be a little bit different. After the first day, I was like, man, y'all done messed it up for every other promoter.
You have a vision, like a fully fleshed out vision. I don't know if you like notebook it beforehand or how, you know what I'm saying? But like, you make sure that you don't leave nothing on the table. Like, we got everybody here, let's make the most of this and get the most out of this.
I think artists would be excited to be in that type of nurturing and family environment.
Like, and I'm not saying this because he's a white boy, but like, he had a Eminem lose yourself moment. What this means to me, I know for a fact this means more to me than it does to any of y'all. And I'm gonna show you that.
As rap becomes more international, as rap becomes more ethnic, more multicultural, a lot of people forget where it came from.
Your closest competition, guaranteed they're dropping the ball somewhere.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Off Top TV. I'm your host, Legacy Lamont.
And I'm Tim.
The season 3 of the Cypher is dropping real soon. Those artists have already performed. The judges have made their decision, and we're getting ready to share with all of you guys.
And tonight isn't just about the Cypher. It's about everything that happened before the cameras rolled, during production, and what made this weekend special.
Absolutely. So before the season 3 Cypher officially drops, we wanted to sit down with the judges and talk about their experiences from their perspective. So joining us today, representing 1/4 of Coast Contra, is featured judge for the Off Top season 3 Cypher, Raz Austin.
We also have producer, editor, artist, and featured judge Zebulon,
and artist, songwriter, and featured judge Pete Gutter, all the way from Albany, New York. Appreciate all of y'all for being here. So, man, we wanted to hop right in, man. You know, when we're talking about y'all experience and coming out here, man, when we first reached out to you guys, what made you say yes to the opportunity of coming on this Cypher?
Who's going first?
Yeah.
New York, go first.
All right. Definitely having Mickey Fax on there was a big help, you know, in persuading my decision to come on. And then also, you know, the professional look, you know, the way that the show was produced, you know what I'm saying? I could tell, you know, that the people there was serious, and also that I would be, you know, like my brand would be represented well. I think that was like the first thing, even before I even talked to anybody, just the whole look, you know what I'm saying, like of the show and everything was very professional. So I know that was a big reason why I gave it, you know, serious thought of actually coming all that way to be on the show. It was very, very, very professional look, and like I said, and then the talent level that you guys had on the previous seasons, it really looked like a no-brainer.
Man, we appreciate that, man. What about so I'll share some with Zeb, man. I know Zeb tapped in. I don't even know how I think I might have reached out to you, Zeb. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And so, you know, we chopped it up, found out you were a filmmaker, producer, and all those things, and that's kind of where we bonded, because we both work in this space. Of course, you got a lot more years than me. But we talked about all kind of stuff, from movies to music and all kind of stuff. And then I realized, bam, I saw the Say What video with you and Raz. And I don't know, I was like, let me shoot my shot. You know, what's your take on it, though?
Well, and then I think I was familiar. I got hip to you guys through Mickey and through Rob from Rap Seminar. Shout out, Rob.
Shout out, Mickey and Rob. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I tapped in that way. And then, yeah, you reached out to me. So we knew of each other, and y'all were, yeah, you said you peeped the music and everything, and you were digging it. So we got to chatting, and then, yeah, we started talking about, like, yeah, what does it look like if we can get Raz, you know, to come through as well. So like, but it was, to me, it was a no brainer too, because I had just done off on the radar, and to be honest with you, like the production value that you're offering, the studio that you've built, the way that you're rolling things out is being run far better than any of these other platforms. So you're like, you know what I mean? So you're building something special, you know what I mean? And I could see that even in its early stages, you know what I mean? Like, so it deserves the audience that they have, you know what I mean? Because there's way more going into it. So I knew it was something special, and I wanted to be a part of that for sure.
Absolutely. And then Raz, you know, what was your first take on it, and what did you think?
Yeah. Well, Zeb definitely he gave me the inside scoop. Yeah, having already, you know, obviously worked with him, tapped in with him. I really enjoyed. I told Zeb I really enjoyed the process of working with him. We kind of like clicked like pretty quickly. You know what I'm saying? We locked in, and yeah. And then once he told me, I was like, all right, cool. Well, you know, let me just see what's going on. And then same from what P said. Once I seen Mickey on there, I was like, all right, cool. Definitely, you know, you're it kind of just shows like, okay, cool, you really building something, and you finding and selecting artists that you feel like are gonna help, you know, stamp what you got going on. And I thought that was dope. And then that's pretty much all I really leaned on. I'm kind of one of them type of people where it's like, you know, I see what the Most High doing, and I'm gonna trust it. But I definitely want to give you and the whole team y'all flowers, because going through the process and doing it, and similar to what Zeb said, having done some of these different experiences on other platforms, the level of the level of detail, the hospitality, the level of investment you put into this, to what you're doing at Off Top, it reflects. You know what I'm saying? And it was one of them things where it's like, man, super grateful to have been a part of something that I can already see where this is going in the future, and I'm grateful to be able to say, hey, man, I'm an alumni from like ground up. You know what I mean? So
Thanks.
Yeah, I like that. That's fire.
Yes, sir. Buzz on that joint, man. Yo, so you know, typically, so you know, I'm from Chicago. He's from
South Carolina.
And you know, we know that this part of the country, especially El Paso, is not really known for hip hop. So that's something that we wanted to bring here, and we have been bringing here.
Yeah.
So another question to all of you guys is: before you got here, what were you expecting from El Paso, from the platform, and then do you feel like that we can't live up to it?
Before you answer, can I add one little caveat to that? Have y'all even heard of El Paso, Texas, before we reached out to y'all?
Yeah. Yes.
From one country song. Bet, yeah.
I think I heard the name. I wasn't familiar. I had to do my due diligence, you know, before I even like super agreed, like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna come out. Like, I had to do some research to see where the heck am I even going. So like I said, the first thing I saw was how far away it was. And then I saw how far away it was from places that I've been in Texas, like, you know, like Dallas or Houston and stuff, or Austin and stuff like that. But really, yeah, man, I was really just kind of like trusting, like I said, what I had seen. I really wasn't going there for the El Paso experience as much as I was going there for the Off Top TV experience. And then I think I was kind of pleasantly surprised by what I was met with when I got there. I think you guys represented the city very, very well. I had nothing but glowing things to say about you guys in the city when I got back, and reported to everybody in New York, you know, about how my visit was there. I mean, the welcome and the hospitality, and even the way I feel like you guys were intentional on showing us the city. You know what I'm saying? You didn't just keep it to just the production and just the studio. You guys made sure you were our tour guides and wanted us to really experience, you know, what it had to offer. So I don't have nothing but good things to say, you know, about the city and the people that we met while we was there.
Yeah, I can back that wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? I heard of El Paso, but like he said, I was coming to just, you know, get it in.
Right.
And you know. So, but yeah, getting to come through, I appreciate the tacos was on point. You know what I'm saying? We got to go to the little taco spot late night, you know what I'm saying? And it was cool. And ultimately, what I really appreciated was just like, you know, Lamont, like opening, obviously bringing us in. That's your home, you know what I'm saying? But creating that dope space, and like I like how it felt like a family, like what y'all got going on. You know, I come from a group background. It's like all family and shit like that. So I really appreciated how like it's like a brotherhood that's kind of operating and how y'all building it. It's dope. Like you tap into a network of niggas who clearly got love and respect for each other. So it's easy to fall into what y'all got going on. You know what I mean?
Wow, appreciate that, man.
Nah, that's funny you says that because we still have that food footage from when we was at the show with the food trucks and all of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
We definitely using all that. That was a good time. Y'all really feel good about those tacos?
And I mean, what's special about it is it's super regional like that, and y'all really being the stewards of that region, right? You're welcoming people in, you're showing people what it is, and then it's because I feel like it's almost like you're landlocked into this place where people have to travel through there. They have to travel through and near there, so like you could make it a cultural hub that there's no other competition to. And I think that's what's special about it is like, for cats who are touring, it could be a destination, you know what I mean? And that's what is interesting to me. Cause like there's plenty of platforms in New York, plenty of platforms in LA, right? But people are traveling, people are doing tour dates, people come through El Paso, you know what I mean? You got venues there. And so you could really be a foundational, like we got to come through El Paso. You could make it that. And that's what's special to me about it.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard to entertain artists. You really got to put some thought into it, and you really got to put effort into it. Reason being is because there's no big venues, there's no sports teams here, there's no celebrities. You can't say, "Hey, I'm gonna pull up on Drake and them and pull up to this big club," or "I'm gonna go catch a game somewhere." So that's something that me and Tim embraced the challenge on. I had to call Tim, and shout out to you for just kind of connecting the dots with some of the community, some of our sponsors and stuff. And so I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. You know what I mean? But let me ask. Well, you won't take the next.
Yeah. So, at what point during you guys' experience did you realize this was going to be more than just another Cypher? Like you felt like, all right, this is an all-inclusive experience. Like, at what point did that really click?
I'm gonna say, to tell you the truth, the pickup from the airport.
Yep.
Just the reception alone. Yeah. Like I said, it was red carpet treatment. Like from like y'all came inside the airport. I didn't even get to like go outside. Like y'all met me like inside, like at baggage return. You know what I'm saying? Like just that attention to detail, and then of course coming outside, and then as soon as we get into the car service, like the catering is not waiting for us somewhere. Like it's in the vehicle, and anybody who travels a lot and travels far understands like when you get off the plane, like that's the first thing you thinking about. Like, yo, we gonna spend, like we didn't have to wait at all. Like the catering was already inside the vehicle, and that's when I was like, all right, this might be a little bit different.
Right.
Yeah. That's it. That was gonna be my answer too.
Raz and I had the same flight. We pulled up. We're like, all right, well, where's he said we're gonna be over here, and we get on the phone. The next time we're walking up, there's a party bus. and I was like, all right, and I, to be honest with you, there was kind of like it was, and then there was like intrigue. There was like we didn't even know what we were doing quite at first, and then we ended up going to the pool hall. We did some billiards. You know what I mean? And at first we're like, all right, what are we doing? Where we going? But then that honestly, that was a nice moment. Like we went and played pool and kicked it for like 30, 40 minutes before we went to the spot, and that really like broke the ice, and like it was vibes. So. It was all like y'all had it all set up and kind of walked us into it, and then it was cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, that goes into what I was going to say next, man. We really wanted to make sure that this felt like more than a performance. we wanted it to feel like an experience. And after spending the weekend, you know, we accomplished that. And I think you already said why.
Yeah, I know. I had said it after the first day. I was like, man, y'all done messed it up for every other promoter. Like after that,
Yeah.
because after the way you spoiled us, I was like, man, I'm got to go revise my writer. I'm not asking for enough.
Yeah.
Setting a standard is definitely something I want to do, man.
Yeah, definitely set a high bar.
To piggyback off something Zeb said earlier, man, like that's something that we really have to do to make El Paso attractive, because it's
Absolutely,
not
yeah.
going to beat out a Houston, or Austin, or Dallas just off name recognition. So we definitely have to make sure that we take care of you guys whenever you do make the decision to take a chance on off time.
Right, and that goes this season and
but you guys are doing things that most other platforms, I wouldn't even say most, I haven't seen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've done a lot of platforms this year, and nothing is this. Nothing.
Nope.
Yeah, it's special, it's different, and so like your closest competition, guaranteed they're dropping the ball somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even though there are platforms and obviously Austin, Dallas, I think it'd be very easy to like be like, oh no, you got to come here. You know what I mean? It's like,
right.
you got to show in Dallas, but you have to come here. You know what I mean?
Right. To be big enough where you can travel.
And on our flight was Ali Wong. Like she was coming to do a show. Yeah. So she came to do a show in El Paso. So like, while like, you know, like you're saying, it's not necessarily big hip hop venues and stuff like that, there are still people coming through. And so I think even though it is kind of out of the way, especially for a traveling touring band, you know, like they're mobbing it in a bus or you know, like yeah, it's an easy little detour.
You guys have highlighted so many things, but if you could just pick one thing that stood out the most, like if you had to help us be our ambassadors, convince the next round of artists for the Cypher to come, what would be that one thing you say you got to go because of this? Is it the previous artist, the city itself, the conversations, the production, the food?
I would, to tell you the truth, what really made the experience kind of stick with me and resonate. Obviously, you know, the spoiling and the amenities was amazing. You know, like waking up in the morning to a personal chef, you know, cooking us gourmet breakfast and shrimp and grits, like everything, like even like the Airbnb, like our accommodations where we were staying, where you guys took us, like everything was definitely like high level and luxury. But what really stuck with me, I think, was what Raz was talking about earlier, was the people. It was really the people that stuck out to me. Even us three judges, you know, like I never met Raz before. I never met Zeb before. But I think just it was like I think I talked to you about this, Lamont, personally, and I had let you know. I said, man, you pulled off something that is very rare here. You did a good job picking not just the people who are on your team,
right,
but the people that you had involved and participate in the Cypher, man. Like I've never seen that many people who've never met each other before get along that well, to where it was like it felt like a family reunion or a class reunion, and we never even met each other before. So it was I could see, I was like I'm sure Zeb could attest to this. Like you said, by doing all different types of platforms and stuff like that, trying to get multiple human beings, number one, from your team standpoint, everybody focused on one goal and going in the same direction and all being on one accord is hard enough. Then also the talent that you're booking, trying to manage all of those different, you know, personalities and stuff like that. There wasn't none. There was, bro. There was it was so free flowing. There was no tension. There was no confrontation. There was no. It really did feel like a family and inviting environment that, you know, when I left, I didn't want to leave, and as soon as I left, like I wanted to come right back for that experience again, because that in itself is extremely rare. So kudos to you again one more time for not just the team that you built, but the way that you strategically picked out the people to participate in the cipher. I think artists would be excited to be in that type of nurturing and family environment.
Yeah, I mean, man, P, he right in alignment, yo. Like, you know, everything was dope. I think ultimately having a space where you know, like he said, you can gather a bunch of different people, and plus, you know, rap is already, it's a competitive sport, anyways. You know what I mean? Like, it can be, at least, you know. So to have a space where everybody got that dog in them, everybody nice, you know what I'm saying? But everybody's secure in what they do. That it's like, man, at this point we could just all come in here and vibe. Plus, you got people stand with each other as well, which that also exposes you to a whole nother element of people's consideration, all type of stuff. You know what I mean? But everybody in the space was considerate, nice, respectful. And I think that's just a testament, obviously, to like, you know, I believe in like whatever energy you carry, that's gonna be the predominant beacon. You know what I'm saying? So like, if y'all was a bunch of assholes and really like fucking over people, that probably would have been the energy y'all would attract. You know what I'm saying? But I think because, like I said, you know, you guys have a unit of respect, and what y'all do in y'all space is just a home and a beacon for those type of artists. So I would say any artist, you know, who is thinking about coming through, you know, make sure you're gonna come through and respect the space. You know what I'm saying? Don't disrespect the space, and don't and make sure you come open-minded and respectful of everybody, regardless of whatever you're ignorant to or not. If you think you're on a big level or not, nobody was in there acting sedity. It's just like it was all vibing. So I think that had a lot to do with it, for real.
It does create a space to, no matter the level you're at, you're gonna be hungry. 'Cause like the cipher element of it is like you wanna come with it. It's all high level. The curation is on point, and that's so my whole thing is like, it's the gestalt of the whole thing. It's everything you guys are doing is the sum of its parts, right? It's like, without the hospitality, without the rollout, without the production value, you know, it'd just be another platform. But the way you guys are like really putting the energy into every detail of the production, even this right now, even like how you got this set up, like the amount of content that you're doing to really promote a season, you know what I mean? Like, so it's the whole package, man. And that's what really drew me to it. It's like, you know, there's so many mic drop platforms, there's so many cipher platforms, and like I said, this one's special. There's a lot of dope podcasts, there's a lot of dope ciphers, a lot of dope one mics, but you're doing all the things under one roof, and you're packaging it up and putting it in a season. You're getting to know basically new characters, you know what I mean? You get to go through all these different people. The way you put us together as a panel is dope, you know.
Y'all did that. I wasn't sure y'all was gonna do it. I wasn't gonna do both.
That's also really unique. So because you're bringing different perspectives, and then I like participating in the same battle that we're judging in. That's a dope idea.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? Love that. So you know, I loved everything about it. It's, you know, you guys like are really putting it together in a special way, and that's what sets you apart from literally everything else out. You know what I mean?
While you still hot, man, I want to pivot this real quick to turn it back on y'all. I really appreciate the way that you guys offered guidance, mentorship, kind words to, you know, local artists that were small, who were lost, and just need to see what it was like, you know, where to go next. You guys were so open with the conversations. Y'all weren't gatekeeping anything, and I really appreciate what you guys shared with us.
Which means a lot. You know, that's the thing, is having access to, you know, veterans like y'all, and y'all been doing it for a while and obtained this certain level of success, right? And, you know, sometimes it's hard for artists to even realize, wow, can I get to that level? And that's one of the main reasons why I do the Cypher, is to have OGs and excellent artists like you guys to be next to these guys, to show them, hey, you know what I'm saying, this is what I'm coming with. And also just fostering their creativity as well. So definitely we appreciate y'all for that.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to pivot back to, you know, kind of just the experience and everything. I feel like all of y'all have been around big room, like productions. What do you feel, especially, I guess, Raz, because you've done bigger stuff, you've been on the set with Sierra, you've been on the Spiral with Red Bull and amongst other platforms and other things. And then also was there too, being a producer, a music a filmmaker. You know, what do you say stood out about the production on this, you know, on this project that we did?
Yeah, for me, I always pay attention to like, do people just want to get it or do they want to get it right?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of the latter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really appreciate that you, bro. You'll shoot. You don't give a fuck. You like, nigga, I'm trying to get that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I really paid attention to. Like when we was going through the first day when we pulled up and you was shooting everybody's stuff and all that, and just and it's kind of, I think, you know, we all been saying it, just like that attention to detail. You know what I'm saying? Making sure you get, and two, just like, man, I feel like you have a vision, like a fully fleshed out vision. I don't know if you like notebook it beforehand or how, you know what I'm saying? But like, you make sure that you don't leave nothing on the table. Like, yo, while we got everybody here, let's make the most of this and get the most out of this,
Mhm.
so that we can, you know, we could do something with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, to the I think Zeb said it, like, you know, everybody's doing this. You know what I'm saying? Or trying to do it to some extent, but I like that you make sure you kind of think everything through and get it. And so I think when I was just paying attention to the production, I was like, yo, oh man, one, the level of self-investment, you know what I'm saying? Flipping it from the barbershop to what you then turned it into. I'm like, man, you just want to lock in with niggas that go hard for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, those is the niggas you want to be around. You know what I mean? So it's just one of the things where it's like, yeah, I feel like when I went in there and I seen this production tip, I was like, man, he's serious, and he ain't wasting his time, so he ain't gonna waste my time. You know what I mean? So I'm in.
Appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, if you don't mind me chiming in on that, I've been a part of pretty big productions as
Absolutely.
well.
Right.
And I think one of the things that we talked about while I was there was what makes a successful production is not the post production, it's the
Right.
pre-production. The better your pre-production is the better the actual production is going to be. And to Raz's point, everything was scheduled out. So like he said, like there was no wasted time. There was a plan. There was a clear plan to be executed, and it was executed efficiently. Because you guys are moving this efficiently, it's easily scalable. You don't understand what I'm saying? It's like, don't pigeonhole yourself to like, you know, like we're a small production. It doesn't matter if it's a small production or a big production. You still have to have, like I said, the same attention to detail. You still have to have the same structure. So since you guys have the fundamentals, I feel like mastered, I feel like this is something that you can do on any scale because you have the structure and the discipline and the know-how, you know, to do this on any level.
In fact, we saw you scale up your system, right? You have a core team, but we were there with this scaled up version of your normal production because you're doing a Cypher with 15 people in it, right? So you had teams in place. So you had us bouncing from spot to spot. You would hire transportation. You were running a larger team to what's normally a smaller production with normally a few of you, right? So yeah, we watched a scaled up version of it, and all the different teams in place, systems in place. You know, you had one dedicated team to capture certain things at the Cypher. You have your core team that was grabbing content at the studio, right? And so being able to bounce, I'm often on the other side of it, right? I'm producing, and so I know what goes into all that. I know what goes into like taking care of artists and stuff like that. And so it's interesting to be on the other side of it. And it was nice. It was nice, and like, you know, it's like And for me, it's like taking my wife to a restaurant. Like she's a manager of restaurants. She's getting into upper management of restaurants. Taking her to a restaurant, she's always like watching the, and I always think for me to be on someone's production and to be talent, because I'm getting used to that, because it's flipped for me. It's always like, can I relax and just let the chef cook, or am I watching the server and like why hasn't our water come? Or whatever. If I'm just there present and I can do that and turn the shit off, then that's why I'm in great hands. And I never thought about it once. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was very fluid. I was like, oh, this is brilliant. He's got this going. And then like, oh, we're going to go get on a bus down to go do this other thing. And he's got other people there ready already. You know what I mean? We always knew just enough, not enough to like be burdened by it because we're staying in the moment. We knew just like, all right, hey, at 5:30 you need to be here. There's like, you know what I mean? Otherwise, do whatever you want. You know what I mean? And so it was just like very easy to map out, and you just kind of guided us to the spots and had it all set up behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So that was brilliant. And so
let me jump in right too.
Yeah, go ahead.
And one more element too that I'm like, I think it is a requirement. Whenever dealing with a team of people and inviting people into a space, is you guys have great communication. You know what I'm saying? Like great communication. That's huge. You know what I'm saying? Because when people be sitting there getting lost in the sauce, that can start to ruffle some feathers. You know what I'm saying? But you guys have great communication, and I also want to give flowers to Tim.
Yes.
I think Tim is a huge pivotal piece because he was a phenomenal host. You know what I'm saying? Like really, like I mean, I was, a lot of that time I really was trying to get my verse down because I was coming off the back of a lot of shit. So I was in my head a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I could have easily been in a corner somewhere, not really in the mix. But I think like I really appreciate Tim because Tim, you just being there and the way your energy, like everybody energy, you really know how to center people into a space and fire that hoe up. You know what I'm saying? Like you had he's just throwing out prompts like, hey yo, Birdman, it's like that's a conversation starter, and then we going back and forth, and then and to the point where we must have been up to like 3 a.m, just everybody really getting to know each other though. Like, but you did a great job of making space for that. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to give you your flowers for that for sure, because it's like to P point, it's all people who don't know each other. You know what I'm saying? So we don't necessarily gotta commune like that. But I love that you really set the tempo for that.
And allow Lamont to be like completely locked in and focused on what's going on the business side.
Yeah, because that would be challenging to try to deal with all.
Yeah, because if it was just one of you, right, like you'd be stretched thin. But it was, you know what I mean? Like you both were controlling logistics, but again, just two sides of the coin. And the shit was phenomenal. And,
thank you guys, man. I would like to take credit for that. That was all for y'all. If y'all didn't participate, if y'all didn't really rock with the energy, it wouldn't have happened. So again, that was all y'all. So thank you.
Man, I gotta get your flowers in real time, man. The strings that were pulled. This man can be a puppet master. You know what I mean? And then he allowed me to pull the strings on my end. So it was like, a good give and go. And then the fact that he was able to host them and be hospitable when I wasn't able to be there, it just made all the difference, man. And everybody was singing you praises. So I really, I can't.
We had some fun with side quest, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, I didn't know if y'all wanted to touch on that because we definitely want to make sure like a lot of emphasis is put on like how professional everything was. But just going back to the point where you were saying like it's not like El Paso is not really a destination. That's when I'll go back to saying like Tim was a great ambassador for El Paso, because like you said, if we had downtime to where we didn't, you know what I'm saying, we didn't have to be professional, artists, like we were allowed like to really like relax and like let our hair down, and like he made sure like we stayed entertained. You know what I'm saying? Like the extracurricular activities was awesome. I don't
Yeah, I
know if I
would've loved
personally
to-
got to thank you, Tim, but thank you for showing us an amazing time, brother.
I would have absolutely loved to have stayed a couple more days. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It was like we were. Yeah, it was.
That's crazy.
If y'all stayed
Yeah.
a few days, it would have been
Hey,
crazy.
salute-
I'm telling you that.
That's crazy.
They would have had a blast.
Yeah, we had a few more hours in that studio that y'all was cooking up.
Oh
over
man, that would have been sweet. Yeah, but no, that worked out perfect. But yeah, that would have been cool. I know we would have cooked some shit.
Yeah, there was definitely.
I
a couple
tried.
moments where
I
like,
tried.
You know, if we could
I
leave
put
that,
the beat on.
Yeah.
I intentionally planned that weekend around like the Taste of El Paso because I'm like, look, maybe these guys might want to come have a taste of El Paso, have it all in one spot, and just the third. Obviously, all the production stuff was lined up, but just the added stuff. Shout out Hemp Quarters for being hospitable.
Wake and Bake having the food ready. El Paso Limos getting us the party bus.
Right.
LaBang Bang getting the wings for whoever could eat them because
Zeb
was killing them. Gutty, you had some.
Yo, we got it in there.
The pizza.
We got it in there.
Yo, the Philly cheesesteak pizza was busting, bro.
Yeah. And so, yes, a lot of us, I think everybody that was supposed to eat, the ones that we were really accommodating, I think everybody had at least a wing or two and some pizza. Detroit Town pizza.
We're gonna get more. They already said
shout out to them.
Yeah, you guys are true ambassadors of the city for sure. I mean, that was clear, and again, that was a part of the experience. So, Tim for mayor is what I'm saying.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
P Gutter, I really want your opinion on this, man. So,
okay.
Another artist got invited next year, but wasn't sure about coming. What would you tell him?
Yeah, don't short yourself, man. Like, don't prejudge. Come out there with an open mind, but really, it's not a known, destination. But I think just let them know, like, you'll be surprised, how good of a time, and how much you enjoy yourself. So just take a chance. What they say, don't treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. So they would be cheating themselves by not coming. I'll put it that way.
Yes, sir. That's a bar. Obviously, shout out to the winner of the Off Top Season 3 Cypher, Sunny Ski. All right.
Sunny Ski.
Man, excellent.
I don't know how we kind of skipped a few, but that's fine. What do you think? Was there a significant moment where you said, you know what, I'm gonna stop and pay attention? This is the guy. Like, if you could expound on not only him but the other ones that really stood out. Not that everybody came and they brought it, but maybe a few that like stood out. And I would like you guys each to touch on them.
What stood out for me for Sonny was just like his energy, man. His energy was like on 1,000. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of, like you said, there were so many people who I felt like talent level, they were so evenly matched. But he's, man, it was just he came out there like he took it. You understand what I'm saying? Like he didn't leave it up to chance. Like he performed his Cypher. I feel like other people like delivered their verses. So some of them were very, meticulous, you know what I'm saying? And we're surgeons. We're really surgical with it. I think his name was it Tony Mundo? I want to butcher Buddy's name.
Tony Mundo.
Yeah, that's how you say it, Mundo. Yeah. So just to give a comparison, bro, the bars was immaculate.
Man.
And even Janae, same thing. Bars was immaculate. It's just he found a way. I just feel like he was really intentional in finding a way to stand out amongst elite talent. He still find a way to rise above, and that's what really I feel like any entertainer. That's really what it's gonna take. Like you're gonna have to find something about you that's special about you that's going to connect with your audience. Not something that you feel is special about yourself, because you know our egos will all make us feel like, you know, we're special or real unique. You have to honestly find something like what's gonna make me stand out in a crowd amongst already elite talent. It's easy to stand out if your talent level is up here and everybody else is down here. But what about when everybody's on the same level talent wise?
Yeah.
What are you going to do to separate yourself? And I felt like he was excellent at doing that.
100%.
Yeah, that's well said, yo. That's well said. And honestly, that's a gem that touched me on some shit. I'm taking that with me. Real talk.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Tony Mundo. Hopefully I'm saying his name correctly.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, he stood out to me. You know, I had told Zeb and P like, yo, he was initially my first choice personally. You know what I'm saying? Because he was so seasoned and so on point, bro. Like,
baby.
and he said, like, you know when cats been doing it long enough to where they convince you because it sound like, yo, he just sound like it's already on wax. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, this shit cemented already. Like, nigga, you good. You know what I'm saying? Just keep rocking. They gon' once the audience finds you, bro, you out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's something I could really appreciate. But one thing that P pointed me to that I was like, yo, you're absolutely right. I can't even argue that is with my man did. Excuse me, what's his name?
Sonny Ski.
Yeah, Sonny Ski. Yeah, is like, and I'm not saying this because he a white boy, but like he had a Eminem lose yourself moment. What this means to me, I know for a fact this means more to me than it does to any of y'all. And I'm gonna show you that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna show you, like, bro, I'm just gonna make sure that when I leave here, it ain't nothing left on the table.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
And so, like, to P point where everybody is like, you know, you delivering what you got.
Yeah.
He out there and I seen him, like he stayed with us. You know what I'm saying? So like, bro was locked in the whole time. Like he like if he wasn't at the table rapping, like chopping with us and shit, he was locked in. You know what I mean? So it was like I really could appreciate it because everything that we chopped it with him a little bit afterwards, and he was just saying, like, you know, his circumstance and just saying really what it means to him, and he didn't have to say it because he already said it in his performance. You know what I mean? And so that was definitely a highlight. I definitely want to give it to the young lady. What's her name?
Janae.
Yeah.
Janae. Yeah, yo, her pocket, like she's to be in a room full of dudes, and she is. You know, you got Ski who energy is all the way up through the roof. You got somebody like, and she's like the smallest person there, but just a laser, bro. Like,
huge personality though.
She ain't even doing much, bro. She just in her pocket, just bro, chopping it down line for line for line for line. I was like, yo, that was super special, bro. I thought that was super dope to witness. And then. I know you on a panel, but I really this is my first time hearing P. I ain't never heard P before. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was thoroughly impressed with P, bro. I hadn't heard of bro before. You know what I mean? And he's another one who again I hadn't heard of him, but when he spit, I'm like, it's cemented. Like when you live in your craft for long enough. It's just seasoned. It's just like you married to the work. You know what I'm saying? So like when you hear cats like that, it's like, oh man, you feel like you knew. You feel like you late. Like, oh yeah, I'm late. You're like this nigga, you know what I mean? So I really enjoy get to hear Pete for the first time. I thought the way he ran it and just, bro, that nigga gave the flawless takes that just I was like, yeah, bro, professional. You know what I'm saying? Like just professional. That I was like, man, hats off to him. I could only just appreciate it. You know what I mean? I really appreciated that everybody was original. Nobody sounded the same. You know what I'm saying? Everybody represented different elements of rap with different attributes to rap. You know what I'm saying? From the lyrical to whatever, how like all the different attributes, you got to see it in a cipher, and everything complemented each other. Everybody complimented each other. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And lastly, my bad, it's a little long-winded, but lastly, I want to give flowers to you, Lamont, just because I know you even said like even some of the MCs haven't just letting them know like, hey yo, I want you to come like this, like at the highest level, and I felt like that when we was in that space, like, oh yeah, nigga, everybody coming fully clipped, like ready to go. So Yeah, that shit was dope, man. That shit was dope.
Yeah, I mean, look, it starts with the curation of the whole thing. Like you're saying, like it doesn't matter the follow count. It matters the hunger and the bars. And so you're even bringing in cats from the local spot and pushing them and like pull up, show up, and then I'm gonna put you in a spot with some hungry cat from from Michigan who's coming here to tear your face off. And that's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's like like high school football shit. It's like Janae was like one of my absolute favorites. Like her style, super unique. She just hella characteristics in the vocal performance and the delivery. Her, I'm pretty sure she was like a couple of takes and they were all fucking flawless. Like, you know what I mean? Like killed it.
It was
Tony,
it was
and then Tony Mundo was my favorite lyrical verse for sure. Like just season.
Absolutely.
But man, we just spent time watching bro like prepare like he was locked the fuck in, dude. So I knew he was gonna bring it. But again, like I was like open like to see what was gonna happen, and it didn't really hit me until like I think like when we were coming back to do like the second angle, like I was like he went in to do his take for that, I think, and I'm like, God damn, you know what I mean? Like, and I knew like, all right. I watched him prepare. He was like so fucking locked in. And I was like, and I heard a little bit of his story and I'm like, he's got something to prove. Like he's winning, he's winning in his city, but he feels like he don't get the respect he deserves and he needs to win outside. And so he came in to like, I don't care what it is, I'm bringing something back. You know what I mean? And everybody else there was there to rap, like everybody showed up to rap. He showed up to like fucking leave there with something, and you know what I mean. And he wasn't taking no for an answer. And
he was definitely he came with a chip on the shoulder for real.
Absolutely, and respect. That's what you do. It's a competition. That's what you do. And so it's like cliched, like but it is. It's the 8 Mile shit, He came with that energy, and it was obvious, and that is a Cypher, and that's the thing that pushed him over the edge, point blank. You know what I mean? Because it's everything. It's like you can have the dopest bars, but you can have a dope performance, but like you got to put those things together and like own it. Even if like again, it doesn't have to be even perfect. It's just got to be felt. You know what I mean? And his shit was felt every time.
So Zeb, I don't want to make it like a race thing, but I just wanted to direct this towards you also being a brighter skinned rapper.
Yes.
So when Lamont told me, you know what I'm saying, like who the judges were gonna be, you know what I'm saying. So of course, like I already heard of Coach Contra, you know what I'm saying. I didn't know necessarily the names of all the different members, but like we know the viral moments that they had. Like I knew who Coach Contra was.
Right.
When they said your name, I hadn't heard of you. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, I'm on the East Coast. I'm on the whole other side of the country. I hadn't heard of you before, and so of course I'm gonna do my own due diligence. And when I found your stuff, man, I was like, this is the soulfulest white rapper. Like what the? Like, I was, man, you shocked the shit out of me. So what? But what I wanted to talk about, like you said, with Sonny Ski is like you didn't want to compare him to like Eminem, but he had an 8 Mile moment. Like, do you agree that it was stage presence and energy without feeling gimmicky?
Yes,
because that's one thing that's like a turn off to me.
100%.
When I feel 100%. I feel like a white rapper is not focusing on the craft enough, and they feel like because they're a white rapper, they have to do more than just be a great rapper.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? So like when the energy that I got from like your videos and stuff, it was like, oh, he's just a dope lyricist. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
he's
it.
comfortable. Yeah, he's comfortable in his
That's
talent.
it right there.
He knows he's dope. You know what I'm saying? He knows his bars is hitting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was smooth with it. He wasn't doing too much. And then with Sonny Ski, was like I said, was like even though the energy level was high, he wasn't trying to be something, you know what I'm saying, that he's not, or trying to come with a gimmick or to set himself apart. He just really let his presence set him apart. Do you agree with that?
100%. I once saw Vince Staples and Mac Miller talk about the idea of they were talking to, because you know they were friends, and the interviewer asked Vince about white rappers, and he's like, "Well, do you mean white rappers or white guys that rap?" Right? And so there's a distinction, and I feel like I've always been a white guy that raps. You know what I mean? And I think that's the distinction of like the line, and because it's a black art, and so I'm weary of white artists that do it as well. It's not like anybody can do this, but you have to acknowledge the cultural impact of where it's come from. And that that's the main thing. Period. It's just like you have to acknowledge the cultural differences. You have to acknowledge, you know what I mean. And then, your music should be authentic to you, and in whatever way that is, that connects with the art, that connects how you tell your story, or whatever. And so that's where like you get authenticity, versus trying to like recreate something.
We'll have them come back. I just want to really touch on something huge. Two things. Thing number one I want to talk about is for everyone who is unaware of what happened. They're trying to give me flowers for creating these conversations, and you just saw naturally how P Gutter, Zeb, and all these guys just bounce off of each other. Right. I can't curate that. I can't make that shit up. That's just the quality that you curated to get these guys into the room. The second thing I want to touch on is something that you highlighted, Zeb. I don't know if you remember this, but we were having a conversation. It's me, you, Raz, JD, and we're naming our favorite artists. So we're going through and saying our rappers, and then JD goes, he's naming his favorite rappers, and he goes, Eminem, Mac Miller, fucking, I forgot who the third. He said 3 white people in a row. Zeb looks at him like, I'm listening. Keep going. And then for the 5th rapper, he names 1 black dude finally. I think it was like fucking Juice WRLD or something. And Zeb was like, I just had to make sure you knew whose culture this was. Like,
did he say MGK too?
Bro, I think he said MGK. I can't.
I was gonna say, I was like, it's not a long list. I was like,
it's quite a few. I mean, it's still quite a few.
I mean, well known. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
I think like you were talking about P Gutter is just like Zeb's respect for the culture, the platform, and all of that is just top notch, bro. And you see that when you interact with Zeb. You see that when you see his appreciation of the lyricism, the sound, the art form itself. And we can't, like, if we could have 1 million Zebs and no more Miley Cyrus's, Culture Vulture, and like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so Tim, did you hear about the movie pitch that me and my road manager pitched to Zeb?
No, not at all.
Yeah, so we wanted, like, we were so impressed with Zeb, like you said, just a human being that he was.
Yeah.
And we know like the prejudices, you know what I'm saying, that are involved with, somebody being in hip hop and being, a white person who raps.
Right.
Yeah.
So so it's just me and my road manager was like, yo, this would be a dope movie if we did this, that, and the third. I'm not gonna divulge what the plot is because I don't want nobody to steal my shit. But I didn't know if you had known about, like, we approached Zeb, with this idea of making this particular movie, and he accepted.
What was the question posed in that? Can you divulge that part of it?
The question posed? No, it wasn't a question that was posed. Like I said, it was just we were just sitting down having a conversation, just like we are right now. You know what I'm saying? Talking about rappers and stuff like that. And we were just me and my road manager were both talking to Zeb just about how impressed we were with just his, you know what I'm saying, just his skill level, his delivery, you know what I'm saying, his comfortability, you know what I'm saying, in his town and stuff like his swag, like he got, you know what I'm saying, like he got that. Do you remember like Ruben Studdard from American Idol?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like Zeb is like the Ruben Studdard of like hip hop, bro. I'm like this.
That's right.
It's
But
just like they're super smooth, you know what I'm saying? And comfortable with it. I was like, nobody would ever see him coming, cause I, you know what I'm saying? I didn't see him coming. We try not to be, but we're human beings.
Yeah.
We judge people on what's presented to us and what our past experience is. So that's all we have to judge people on. So you know what I'm saying? Like
I've been leveraging against that my whole life.
Nah, man.
Yo, you a sleeper though. That's what I mean. Like that's your
what I'm
secret
saying.
weapon. I was like,
Yeah, because
man,
you don't see it coming. So I just
you
leverage
really
that
don't,
shit.
bro.
Peep this, right? So continuing on the same topic that we're going on, right?
Yeah.
So I can't think of a worse of a better word, and I'm so sorry if you take offense to this, Zeb. The way that he presents himself so modestly, so humbly, I really love that. But the thing is, you know, alluding to your movie topic, as rap becomes more international, as rap becomes more more multicultural, a lot of people forget where it came from. So to have people like Zeb, who are honorable guests, who want to make sure that people understand the history and where it came from, is huge. Because we can't keep saying it because they're not going to write it off. But hearing it from Zeb is different. That's different from the Asian rapper to hear it from Zeb. That's different from the Hindi rapper to hear it from Zeb. So people like Zeb are helping us champion this cause and help people remember where it came from and who we serve. Because hip hop isn't exclusionary, it's inclusionary.
Right.
But you still got to know where you're stepping.
That type of respect from where it came from is just a part of being a student of the game. Like it really doesn't matter what profession it is or like what lane it, like I said, it doesn't have to be, you know, hip hop or rapping. It could just be, you know what I'm saying? It could just be acting or dancing or whatever it is. But it's like you really do have to be a complete student of whatever it is, the career that you're saying or a lane that you're saying that you want to inhabit. And I just feel like that's just proof of how much of a student of the game that he is. That you know what I'm saying? He doesn't just know what's going on presently. You know what I'm saying? He knows the root of it and the evolution of it, and is constantly, you know what I'm saying, respecting the origin. And then
I love a studied individual. You know what I'm saying? That's what I love about Zeb. Zeb knows about a whole lot of stuff. If it's film, it's pop culture, if it's hip hop, he's gonna know who devised the fucking idea. You know what I'm saying? He's a historian, so to speak. You know what I mean? And so I love being around people that's actually a true fan. I can't stand when people say, "Oh, I love hip hop," and then you ask, "Yo, give me your top 3 fucking favorite albums."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And say why.
You know, right? And why? Yeah. So the why part is what catches them. They can't tell you why. I was like,
what kind of music do you listen to? I listen to everything. Get the fuck out of my face.
Oh my god, bro! I listen to everything is code word for the same 4 genres. That's it.
Yeah. So hip hop is a sport, and you know, just how you can't talk sports and any other sport, you can't just play like fake it. You can't. You gotta know who the players and the shakers are from and what they doing and what accomplishments they made.
I'm like a sports guy for music and film for sure. Like that's my nerddom. I can't go deep with comic book shit. I don't care about any of that stuff. But like specifically like music, what album, when it was released, like things like that. You know, I don't get deep on like producer credits and things like that. But like, you know, I'll know like the general shit about, you know, anything that I love, any album that I ever loved. You know, I've worked at, you know, a couple record shops, like when, you know, in my, early 20s, like I love that shit. So, you know, that's my nerd shit.
so I feel like that also speaks to in addition to your talent level, it's also your passion. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're only gonna dig deep about something that you're passionate about. And I feel like a lot of people use rap because it is something like you literally can practice enough and get at, and you can also be bad at and still accomplish some things. I feel like too many people do it like as a stepping stone, like on their way to something else, and they're not really passionate about it. Do you feel the same way?
But I think you're cheating because you have so much time in the industry. And let me expound on that, right? Pop, what like before pop was a genre, right? It was hip hop and rap into R&B. Before Michael Jackson was classified as pop, what was he making? And damn near R&B, house music,
disco
rap, and all of this. So then you get this pop, which is just popular music. What does that entail? The top 40. What genre typically dominates the top 40? Fucking rap.
Rap now, yeah.
When you're listening to country, when you're listening to alternative, you're hearing the bass lines. There's a subgenre of EDM so heavily inspired by rap. It's called trap. And who wrote that name? T.I. Trap music. You know, they need to have that BPM. They need to have all of that. But to go with that, just tying it all back into Zeb and what Pete was talking about,
right?
It's just there are so many different people from so many different generations with rap. And the thing I love about this music, this culture, is it always samples from before. There were songs that were hitting when we were young that be sampled, and people.
That's one of my favorite things.
And
that's my favorite thing about film as well. Yeah. Like we get so heavily caught up with the idea of originality. There's always new kind of cutting edge things happening, but we're always referencing something. I mean, that's what we love to do. People love to reference. That's it gives us that's how we get our cultural like kind of overlaps. Our Venn diagram moments of like who you are versus who I am, how we connect. Like, you know what I mean? I don't love everything that you love. I haven't heard everything that you've heard, but there's gonna be a lot of stuff that we're like, oh yeah, that, and that's the special shit. You know what I mean? That's the stuff that gets me excited. Like, so hip hop, being like, it's based on samples and but all of music is, you know what I mean? Mozart was like, riffing off of something else, right? So, there's always just iterations of things in any medium. And so in films are always referencing films. Even within films, you're referencing multiple films, right? Because it's a it's a collage of my mind, like whatever I'm writing.
So I know we're all musicians, so we're gonna nerd out on this. So I kind of want to push the pace a little bit, where we get too deep in the weeds and we lose, the casual listener. So this is the question I want to pose. So when I think of a cipher that's timeless, that's memorable, I think about I want to say it was the 2011 BET Cypher.
That's what I was gonna say. You gotta go BET Cypher.
It was Joel Santana, Fabulous, Jadakiss, Ace Hood, and I forgot. But that was your four styles you would never think would get all together in the cipher.
Absolutely.
So when I look at the cipher that we put together for season 3, is you have so many different styles. So I want to ask you two, what do you think separates the cipher that's hot in the moment? Think about the Duke Westlake ciphers. Those were hot for a little while. But what makes a cipher timeless? What goes into that and make it say that, this is what the art form looks like if you're Southern, if you're from the North, if you're West Coast, all these different. What makes a cipher unique? What makes it timeless?
So those are like two different things. Unique and timeless, I feel like, are two different categories. I feel like what makes something a cipher timeless is literally like a moment that happens during the cipher.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? To where it's like a moment that happens, like that you fell in love with,
Ooh.
that makes you want to go tell other people, like you have to go watch the cipher, but for this, like have a thing, you have like a timestamp in your head. Like, but when you know what I'm saying, but specifically go like to this time, like in the cipher, and go look at that moment.
The
I
moments.
feel like that's what makes like the repeatability of the rewatchability, like of a cipher, is like this special moment, this special thing that happened during the cipher. Because like I said, you can always just get a bunch of really talented people and put them together and have multi different styles and stuff like that. But again, I feel like Sunny Ski was a moment that happened during the cipher that people will rewind back and go back and watch, you know what I'm saying, like over and over again, because it was something that stood out. I watched, like you like Zeb was saying, I watched a lot of mic drops. I watched a lot of ciphers and stuff, and a lot of them are not, it was cool like to watch it one time. It's not rewatchable. So I feel like it really has to be a moment that happens that makes it timeless.
Yeah, I think this one's gonna have quite a few moments. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Quite a few moments.
Yeah. I was trying not to, ring my own bell. I feel like, I had a rewatchable
P.
100%.
P, your professionalism shone through.
Yeah.
It's showing through, P. Your professionalism was
P's verse from top to bottom, flawless, man. And I mean, every take was fucking damn near flawless. Like the energy from the jump, the bars is there. I love the man. I love the pocket, dude. Like the way where you sit with the shit, man. It's just like effortless.
Thank you.
And then Raz always comes in with like the absolute, just insane, acrobatic, flexibility with his cadences, and then the bar work is high level. For
always.
Sure. So I mean, gonna be.
Let me chime in on that.
Classic moments.
Go ahead, bro.
So there was literally a lot of back and forth when it came to the beat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was.
I mean, it was a lot of beats in play. Some of these shits would have fucking been crazy and brought a lot out of all the artists that was on the cipher.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up going with the beat, that my alarm beat. And when I sent it to P Cutter, and my guy Aim couldn't come back. That was a season 2 champ. He was supposed to be there too, but sometimes shit don't pan out the way you want.
Yeah.
But bro, when you got that beat and you heard it and you was like, yo, nigga, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, yo, just stand by. Give me a couple minutes. Let me make sure it's good with Raz and Zeb and shit like that. Cause producers and they, and they have their own beats too.
Mm-hmm.
Finally we was like, yo, we settled on the beat. When you got that beat, bro, you was like, if they can't write to this, they should not be rapping.
That's how I felt. That's literally how I felt, and not and not just that they can't rap to that, they shouldn't be rapping. I felt like that beat had so much range as to it had so many different pockets that you could attack, and it wasn't doing too much that was forcing you to rhyme a certain way or in a certain style. It kept the range wide open. So like I said, I was like, if you can't rap to this, you shouldn't even be in the cipher, bro, because it was like pick your poison. Like there's so many different ways you could come at, what I'm saying, at this beat. And I feel like that's also a part that we didn't talk about of a timeless freestyle or cipher is also the beat. It's also it's also the beat.
I was super happy when they blessed it because Ras is some beats. You know, he makes beats well. So shout out to Ras. But he said some beats, and I'm like, yo, oh man, like, bruh, we can use it, but my nigga, I know you can float on this because I see the visuals as a visual artist. You know what I'm saying? And so I was
Right.
glad that like we all chimed in together and said, hey, you know what, it's the one. So yeah, appreciate that, man. Zeb, what you had to say? My bad, I cut you off.
Oh, I don't know.
That's okay, Pops.
But also like thank you for like involving us. That I feel like that's another piece that like set you apart. Like the producers of these shows, they don't come to us and ask us, you know what I'm saying? Like, what beat do you want? Like everybody, like if it's your own personal freestyle, then yeah, you know what I'm saying. But for like a cipher, like that, everybody's they're not gonna ask the artist, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, yo, this is what we rapping to. They, you know what I'm saying, and everybody has to go on and they do it. So it's just I appreciated how much you involved us from the inception, and you continue to involve us in the evolution of the entire season. I feel like that's another thing that you should use as a selling point. Like you said, when you want to do another season and you're pitching this, you know, to the next featured artist, it's like let them know it's like this is gonna be your baby too. You know what I'm saying? And I even told Lamont, I was like, I've been like what we did like right now it's August. We're in the middle of August.
Mhm.
We taped this cipher in April. And I've been able to live off content from April to August off of just one season of coming out there and recording with you guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I haven't been able to pull that much out. You know what I'm saying? Like of a performance with any other platform.
Yeah. P, and no disrespect. I want to caveat off that, man. Like, how do you feel? How do you feel about the importance of being able to utilize the content and all the things that opportunities that come your way? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. So I feel like it's paramount, especially in the age that we're in right now, to where people might not ever hear one of your like actual songs like that you uploaded, you know what I'm saying, like to a streaming or an album, like until they find you a different way.
Right.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like this is the age of music to where we kind of find out about your music kind of like second, third, or fourth. You know what I'm saying? So but like you're usually introduced to an artist in a totally like different way, and like, oh shit, and they make music. So
Right.
so for me, it's extremely important that anything that I'm doing content wise, number one, the aesthetic of it. It has to be super high quality, because high quality stops the scroll. So it's just the look of it, and then it's like, okay, if because we're literally fighting for the audience attention like 3 seconds at a time. So the first 3 seconds that stops the scroll is how does it look? I haven't heard anything. I just saw this looks different than everything else. So then, okay, I bought another 3 seconds. So now the next 3 seconds is, what do I hear? So for me, I'm very intentional of how I pick not just what I'm a part of, but then after I'm a part of something, what do I pick to be the content that I put out there? And you guys gave me so much to pick from. I'm like all of it is gold. So when you're brand building, you have to be very selective about what's out there for people to get introduced to you from.
Yeah.
So like even like how you found me, like the only like you found me off of another like drop mic performance that I did.
Yeah.
But it was the same thing with that platform. I didn't even get even a fraction of the amount of content from them that I got, you know, doing with you. But their aesthetic was there. And that's why I agreed to do their platform. You know, they cared about their brand and what that looked like. And then it was the same thing with yours. I could see leaps and bounds, like, you know, they have high quality, but then they've gone like even further. But
We
man, this age, this age that we're in right now, man, like the content that you get off of it and how much you're able to use, how much of it you're able to use going forward is super key.
Yo,
phenomenal.
P Gutter reminds me of Andre Iguodala. He is a locker room guy. I don't know if you guys peep it. A lot of people don't. He just shared so much knowledge about marketing and music and how to make yourself stand out and what's important. And he mentored these guys that were at the Cypher so well. And this information that he has, shout out to P Gutter, man. I just can't you're dropping gems right now. It might go over people's heads, but you're really doing it. And I just want to highlight that. The fact that really
Thank
just
you,
took
bro.
to say what it takes to be different in today's day and age.
Yeah, and I seen Zeb, you was about to chime in on that, man.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel as a visual artist, man, at the highest level? Not too many people can charge 50, 100K for a fucking video.
That's facts.
That comes with fucking a skill set and a lot of work and a lot of people and personnel and all that. You know.
Yeah, it's been a journey and a blessing to be able to work on this type of stuff that I've been able to work on and make the type of videos I've been able to make, and to do it from just me and some thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, it's, to build it to what I have. Sometimes I pinch myself, like I'm, just happy to be a part of that type of shit. But yeah, man.